Hi lovelies, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you a simple beginner friendly makeup that's easy to follow. So let's get started. First, I'm cleaning my brows using these wipes. Then I'm going in to lay down my brows using edge control. This is to keep the brows in place by brushing it into my brows using a spoolie. After that, set your brow using a translucent powder to give it that matte finish for easy lining. Then go in with the brown shade of eye pencil that suits your skin tone best. As you can see, I'm gradually following the natural line of my brows. I have thin brows, so I do not want to overline. Here I'm just filling in my brow. Please, when filling in your brows, do not apply too much pressure. You don't want it to look very dark for easy blending. Then I'm using a lighter shade of brown to fill in the outer part of my brow and also the inner part. So basically, I do not like it when my brow looks too dark. So yeah, now I'm using a spoolie to just blend. I'm blending the inner part of my brows upward and the outer part to the side. To clean up my brows, I'm mixing two different shades of concealer from my Color and Adventure because my concealer is lighter than my skin tone and I needed something close, or rather just one shade lighter. Always use the concealer that is just a shade lighter than your skin tone when concealing under your brows. Use a flat concealer brush to follow the line you created or follow your natural brow line. Don't worry if it's not perfect, you can always blend it out later. Just make sure you're following the line correctly. Blend in the remnants of the concealer into your eyelid. For the top brow, use a darker shade of concealer or use foundation for easy blending in order to avoid harsh lines. And once outlined, just keep blending, blend. And doing the same for my other brow. You can always go back and clean up places that do not align properly. Gently dab the concealed areas using a damp beauty blender or brush. I'm using concealer as my eyeshadow base. You can always use an actual eyeshadow base. And then I'm pressing that in with my beauty blender. For eyeshadow, I'll be applying this light shade of brown from my Morphe eyeshadow palette, but the brown shade wasn't dark enough, so I used a brown contour from my contour palette, and I did same for my other lid. I'm applying a small amount of concealer directly on my eyelid, focusing on the areas I want my colored eyeshadow to pop, using my flat brush to gently pat and blend the concealer. With that done, I'm dipping my eyeshadow brush into this red looking pink color. Actually it's pink but it looks red, so I'm patting that on my eyelid gently. Then I'll be using this slightly darker shimmery color for my middle lid. Most of the colors on this palette don't look the way they appear. Using an eyeshadow sponge, I'll be applying this whitish shimmery color to the inner corners of my eyes to make the eyeshadow pop. Next, go in with your eyeliner. I like to outline where I want my eyeliner to start and end and connect it before filling it in. That way it's easier and precise. Using a black pencil, I'm gently lining my waterline to add more definition to the eyes. So here I already applied my concealer to the areas I want to brighten up. Yes, I applied my concealer before my foundation. You can always apply your foundation first, but that's what I'm doing for this look. Using a setting spray to set the concealer before blending it in. For blush, I'm using a red lipstick in place of a cream blush, cause why not? If you're going to be trying this, please do not use too much lipstick. You can build up, keep adding till you get the desired shade you want. So you blend, make sure you blend it in properly so you don't go out looking like a clown. This is a hack I learned on TikTok. This was my face when I realized I forgot to prime. Don't forget to use your primer before foundation. Finally, I'll go in with my foundation on top. This is the Adventure foundation. This This layering technique gives your makeup a radiant and soft glowing effect. So take your time and gently pat your foundation in using a damp beauty blender. You don't want to use a dry beauty blender because it absorbs your products. For contour, I'm using the second darkest shade of powder contour from my contour and highlights palette. Then I'm lightly applying it to the hollows of my cheek, starting near my ear and blending towards the middle of my face, light-handedly using soft circular motions to avoid any harsh lines. Using my eyeshadow brush, I'm also going to be applying just a very light amount of contour to the sides of my nose to give it more definition. Then I'm using a lighter shade from the same palette that matches my skin tone to clean up the sides of my nose just underneath where I contoured. I'm using my Sacha Buttercup translucent powder to set under my eyes, not bake, just setting, and then using the remnants of my chin and also my forehead to give it a matte finish. And I'm also doing that on the places I contoured. I'm applying the same translucent powder under the hollow of my cheekbones to blend out any harsh lines from my contour. After that, I'm using a fluffy powder brush to tap into two different shades of powder from the same contour palette, and I'm using that to blend everything in circular motion. Then I'm going in with a powder blush from the same palette using the same brush I used for my contour. Just do it lightly, you don't need too much. I'm going in with the remnants from my powder brush to blend everything in for a seamless look. After that, I used my setting spray to lock everything in for a long-lasting finish. You can use any setting spray of your choice and just let that dry in. Once it dries up, I'm going in with a highlighter from the same palette. I'm applying that to the high points of my face where light naturally hits. For my lips, I'm using the same MAC brown pencil I used to fill in my brows earlier. I'm just using that to line my lips. When lining your lips, use the pencil to gradually fill in the inner and outer corners of your lips. And then I'm using a black pencil to add definition to the outer part of my lips. Then I'm rubbing my lips together to blend it in. I'm applying a nude lipstick in the middle part of my lips using an eyeshadow sponge. You can apply any shade of nude lipstick that suits your color best. And I'm going in with my clear gloss to add sheen to my lips. And this is the final look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do well to like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.